Hello guys, so I was having a quick look at the weekly charts, working from left to right, and I've got as far as this Euro NZD, and we've got a great big candle there. So that's what I'm looking for, big candles on the weekly with the potential of pullbacks. Now there's no guarantee you'll get a pullback, of course, and you should not consider entering a pullback just based on the fact that it starts going down. Always use the reversals. Well, do what you want, but if you're going to follow my sort of methodology, as it were, just look at the charts. I will have come into this a few hours after the event because obviously charts change at midnight on my charts, 2200 the UK time. That's the American Open, and that's what this white line is down here. So quite often you find that you may get a gap on a weekly chart, so you have to take that into account, and that's a different situation altogether. Here's a gap here, close and open, and you will often get that because of the way the money markets and news over the weekend affects how traders trade first thing the new week. So there's gaps here, here and here. Traders do actually trade gaps. It's not my area of expertise, so I won't even go into that, but look it up and see what they do. So big chart, a big candle rather, so we'd be sort of over here and watching what happens on the daily, and then the H4 and then the H1, and basically any sort of reversal would want to see start off on the 30-minute or H1. Here's a good indicator actually. This has actually started reversing on the 30-minute. So let's just have a look at, let's just assume this is potentially the new day's charts, and this was the end of the old day here, and the end of the week actually for that matter. So what I'd want to see is a start of a reversal to the downside, low, high, high, low, high, 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 low, lower, high, lower, low, and continue the song until it closes, and then we have a potential of a pullback because once support is broken, price will generally go back and test it. It did. It actually reversed on us. If we zoom in, this is our hypothetical Monday morning. It reversed back up again, and that's how we stay out of oh, it hasn't reversed up on us, I do apologise. Let's have a look. That low is 215, that low is 2146. No, so let's get rid of that. I was correct. Need to trust my eyesight more. That's the reversal there. Low, high, low, lower, high, lower, low, lower, high, lower, low, and it's not made a new low. So the minute it fails to make a new low and breaks the high, this then becomes the penultimate. This is an inside bar, and this then needs to break the high of that penultimate, low, high, higher, low, higher, high, and close. Now we've got to reverse to the downside for this come back in alignment. You can see we've actually got a swing trend forming. Swing 1, swing 2. If the low breaks here, this will be swing 3, swing 4, pullback, continuation. So, and that would be effectively a 1 hour reversal to the downside. But we need to check these levels here to see whether this has in fact closed down. It hasn't. That's the highest high to the upside. This is the uptrend, low, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high. This is an inside bar again by the looks of it. The low of that one needs to be closed below. Let's put a new low on there because that green line is from over there. So the low of that candle needs to be closed below for this to be reversed to the downside again, back in alignment otherwise. Back in alignment, in fact. So 2248, close 2256. So we need to break and close below 2248, which I have no doubt it'll probably do in the morning, or during the night rather, or we may well just gap right up and have to do the whole process again. So that's it, guys. Massive weekly candle. The whole thing was from the high to the low, 264. So whatever that is, massive. Can't work out, my brain's not working. Sorry, I'm being distracted, my dog's in the background making a noise. So it's a massive candle, and that was how I would look for a reversal. Just continuation down. We can put the H1 level on there because that's a long way down. So first I would expect to close and break below this resistance line, and if it did, then I would expect it to well, it needs to break the H1 reversal line. And then when it does that, if it breaks it with a candle that is big enough and closes below, sorry, that's not very good, I need to move that across. So let's suppose this is a new candle. The high comes, it makes a lower high, and then it comes down and closes below this. This would be the reversal, but I would like to see it close below that, because then you have got, let's suppose it closed below that but didn't close below that, you have not broken that support there, and that is a critical level because it's red, because I want to see a nice run of green to attack once I've broken through. I hope that makes sense. So we've got resistance broken here with a close to attack this level rather, and then support all broken here to continue on down to this sort of area here, the flip zone. Expecting to have a potential problem of a bounce there, so you know, being a scalper, oh, the bounce is there actually, that's brilliant. So we've got a lovely long run to the bottom of this area where we start to get supply and demand issues. That's what I'm trying to explain when we get a big run. So this is the, from about here, the flip zone is the area we will have to attack if this closes below all that lot. It's H1. Okay, so we can attack with a breakthrough there down to this area. I hope that makes sense. It'll all have probably happened before I get up in the morning, to be fair, but that resistance area gives us a new attack level down to that green area here. I want to see a nice close below that, then a potential pullback, and then a continuation down to that supply and demand area there. Okay, that's how I look at this. Obviously we want all these to look good to the downside as well. You know, it'll be a red bar on H1 here, then go down on the lower time frames and you'll probably be below zero, and attacking this -20 level here. That's all the stuff that I want to be happening in order to get into this to the short side, all as a result of that massive weekly candle that is into a big area of resistance. It may well go up again first with the gap or whatever, or just continue on up during the Asian session, but we've got all these levels ahead of us to potentially cause us a problem if this does decide, if they do decide to push this up a bit further. All of these lows as well, old support acting as resistance, all of these, this is what I'm looking at, ahead of price. So now we're back on the H1. Oops. There's a ton of stuff up above us that will cause a problem to the long side. Okay, so that's it. Big weekly candles. Prepare yourself for the following week's potential trades. What else can we see from this weekly? Just see whether it's confirmed down. Yes, it has. So that low, high, high, low, high, 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 low, all the song until there. This upper move was absolutely on the cards. Notice that's the scenario I was talking about earlier. The low of this one has been broken by the open of that one. It didn't get broken by the close, but I still consider that to be a break. So now this potentially could come down to around about here, but this area is going to cause the first sort of problem on our hands. In fact, the high of that resistance there, the highest level in this whole sideways area, accumulation for the long trade, is likely to cause a problem. But if the price has decided to truly return, then obviously we start to attack all the different levels here. And then this is a weekly chart, so there's a ton of room, and that move there between the low of there, after potentially breaking and pulling back a little bit, would give you 420 odd pips to the next level. So that was a great example of what I want to see when you see these little when they're not all green and you have this area of accumulation. Remember, this is a weekly chart, so that's 4 or 5 days of, well, it's 5 days precisely, of sideways motion. Okay, thanks for watching, and I hope that helps. Now, I haven't been over here to see what's going on in the weekly charts on these, so we can quickly flip through those before I finish this video. That's halfway back pullback, so that's interesting. On EA, similar situation then. So if you're a fib trader, you'd be drawing your fibs and saying, yeah, 50% back is about there, 68 point whatever it is about there. That looking quite bearish actually. Big push down, pull back, continuation, but nothing is over till the fat lady sings. Always use your reversals, nothing there. Well, no big candle. There's probably something interesting to look at there actually, but by the looks of it. Halfway pull back again there. Masses of long wicks there. That's interesting, but I'm not going to get distracted by that. Just looking for plain old big candles. That's a big candle with a pullback. That looks like now we're into the continuation phase. So that's very bearish, GA, but not what we're looking for at the moment. That's quite a big candle, but definitely not looking for much of a pullback on that into all this resistance, support potentially acting as resistance. Well, it's already done it. And then look, you've got a massive run on this GBP CAD, if that's what they intend to do. But once again, we'll probably get a little pullback and then maybe get a good opportunity for a continuation there. That's a big candle, hasn't pulled back yet. GB Swiss, that's interesting for a pullback long. I'll just annotate that for my own purposes. This sort of thing I do. Don't know what, oh, that's the TMT what's it daily position. Yeah, big, and again broken support, testing support here, the flip zone. That looks like it might go long, so I'll have a look at that later. This one's pulled back, so that one looks like it might be potentially short. This is the sort of thing I do, guys, and then if I was doing this for myself, I'd be writing notes on here, and then I can go back and check. That's a long one. Long. at major levels of support here. Might go down before going up. Remember guys, the disclaimer, don't trade anything I talk about, do your own analysis. But there's a clear gap as well between these levels. That's interesting to me. That wick, there's no wicks here or no wicks here either from these two, so that's a big gap. Doesn't look that big, but it's got a few pips worth of 88 pips, give or take. This actually, so you have to take into account the histo, which I didn't in any of the previous. This is just busted. It's busted, pulled back, broken and closed. Still doesn't mean it's going to continue down. What do we get after a break and close? Quite often a pullback, and just as luck would have it, it doesn't show us one here. There's a break and there's a break and close, and that one just collapsed. But all the others not very helpful at all on that chart. Ooh, big old candle there as well. Some big moves gone on. So doesn't mean they'll just continue. Nothing goes in a straight line. We've got a ton of support in front of us here. We have just broken a support there. So you know what happens when support gets broken? Potential pullbacks. Just remember the disclaimer guys, massive one there. Broken and closed below that level by the looks of it. Tested that flip zone. There. And we've got some clear air above us. Oops, wrong colour. Apologies. I better whip through these now as well. Big bar. Because if I don't save this video soon, it won't save at all, and I would have wasted all my time. That's it then guys, so that's my summary of weekly charts to potentially have a look at and why.